Hello, my name's Elizabeth Kinne, and I'm broadcasting to you live today from quarantine in Queendom. The story that I'm going to tell you is an old French fabliau that's been rewritten for our times, and the title is The Knight Who Could Make Vaginas Speak. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of France, there lived a handsome knight whose name was Silence. She was flat broke. She was out riding her horse one day and encountered three wise, courteous maidens bathing in a stream, and they called out to her, "Silence! Could you do us a favor and set out our clothing for after our bath?" Silence, never one to leave a damsel in distress, ran over and began to shake out their dresses and line up their platform shoes and stack their pads. And the first young woman got out of the water and said, "Silence, thank you so much. You have no idea the difficulties of tucking before the invention of tucking panties. This is the Middle Ages after all. I would like to give you a gift in recognition. I give you the gift of fabulousness. Anyone who enters into your presence will always want to be by your side." The second young woman got out of the water and said, "Silence, I too would like to give you a gift. And I give you the gift of love. Whomever you meet, man or woman, and should you so desire, will immediately fall in love with you." The third young woman got out of the stream and, scratching her scruff a bit, said, "Silence, I too want to give you a gift, but it's going to be a useful one. I give you the ability to make vaginas and bumholes speak, and they will always tell you the truth." Silence thanked the ladies, and she rode off and came upon a castle where she thought she could spend the night. Once she entered the hall, she was warmly received by the count and the countess and their people, and they fed her a lovely supper and then showed her to a well-appointed chamber where she could sleep. As she was getting ready for bed, she heard a knock at the door, and she saw before her a young chambermaid and a young squire, and said, "Young people, why are you here?" And they responded, "Silence, we have come to do your bidding and your pleasure, but now that we see you, we are so enamored of your person." Silence, finding this a bit strange, decided to get to the bottom of things and interrogate their anatomy. What she found out did not thrill her. Terrified, the chambermaid and the squire ran away, and the chambermaid went to the countess and said, "Milady, the Lady Lord Silence, who we've welcomed into our company, has a most strange gift. She made my vagina speak." And the squire went to the count and said, "My lord, the Lady Lord Silence, she has a very strange ability. She made my bumhole parley." Now, just before bed, the count and the countess went to confer and decided that they would not lose the upper hand in their own home, and concocted a plan. The next morning, the countess called out for her chambermaid and asked her to bring 2 large bags of cotton. She asked the count to turn around, and she stuffed up his bumhole full to the rim, and the count did likewise, filling up the countess's vagina. They went out to breakfast, and the count made an announcement. "Dear subjects, it has been brought to my attention that the Lady Lord Silence has a most strange ability, and I wager my kingdom that she will not be able to make my bumhole parley." And the countess too wanted to make her proclamation, and she said, "Dear citizens, it has been brought to my attention that the Lady Lord Silence can also make vaginas speak. She will not make my vagina utter a single word." And Silence stepped up to the front of the room, and she said, "Dear count, dear countess, this is all very well and good, because I have a few questions for you. Count, I shall begin with you. Master Rectum, did your master send his squire to my chamber last night against his will?" "Not a word." "Now for you, my lady. Fair Mistress Vagina, did your lady send her chambermaid to my room last night, much against her will?" No response. Silence thought for a moment and had another plan. "Lady Anus, why is the count's back silent and the countess's front silent?" "Oh, Lady Lord Silence, they've both been fed a most unsavory meal this morning of cotton, and I fear they shall both suffocate." Silence roared at this travesty and said, "Go, count and countess, and free your holes that they may speak to me." The two went sheepishly behind a curtain and came back, and Silence started over. Master Rectum, did your lord send his squire to me last night against his will? Why, yes, Lady Lord Silence, indeed he did. Fair Mistress Vagina, did your lady send her chambermaid to me last night, much against her will? Lady Lord Silence, yes, in fact she did. Count, Countess, I hereby declare myself sovereign of your lands and of your people, and I banish you both to Rikers Island. The people wept tears of joy that they would be protected from the tyranny of the Count and the Countess under the good stewardship of the Lady Lord Silence. Joy reigned in the land. They all lived happily ever after, and they married whomever they wanted. Thank you.